Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and I am your guide for everything Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and all that weird stuff, and it's all set up so us Westerners can figure it out. Now, it's middle of summer right now. We just finished up the 4th of July, awesome holiday. And what do we like to do in the summer here in the States? At least here in the States. We like to go on road trips, so guess what we're gonna do? We're going driving. And buckle in. It's going to take about 15 minutes, 20, 30 for me, but for you, it's going to last about 5 minutes. So, enjoy. Buddy, we are now on what we in the United States call an interstate. And in the UK, Australia, Europe, everywhere else, it's typically called motorways. Now, why are we here? Well, because this little avenue of travel is fairly representative of Meridians. Go ahead and show them that. Okay, see what we've got is a very large way that you can travel very, very fast. That way, things can get where they need to be very quickly. Now, the main meridian that this one is most like, because this one runs north and south, this one's a lot like the stomach meridian. The stomach meridian is loaded with energy and blood and everything else because the stomach meridian is kind of what feeds everybody else. It also has the most branches to it. Now, if you notice as you cruise along on a motorway or an interstate, you come across these little things called exits. These are a lot like the acupuncture points. When we put the needle in, it tells the body, you need to look right here. You need to go to this spot and do something. Beyond that, I really can't tell you much because each point's so different, even just a few millimeters apart. So, we are going to be taking one of these exits coming up, and while I'm mentioning that, you ever notice how you get achy, stiff joints? You know, you can't really move and it hurts, then they pop and then they kind of feel better? Well, that's kind of like this interchange coming up right here. It's where the 80 crosses the 15. That should tell you exactly where I am. See, interchanges are like joints. It's where things narrow and stuff starts to change. That is why you have such issues in joints, okay? And we are just about to get off of one and head on to another. We'll be taking a side street. So, we'll be back in just a second. Okay, here we are, major street, just about to make the turn, waiting for the light to pass, and I just hit traffic! Okay, you see, this is what I'm talking about, all right? Traffic is a lot like what we in Chinese medicine call qi stagnation. It's why you get aggravated. And the worse traffic is, the more aggravated you become, especially on a light day. But anyhow, the reason why you get so aggravated when things don't go your way is because the qi, the energy, is now stuck in one place and it's not supposed to be. Okay? It's kind of interesting that we are turning onto the street that we are on. Go ahead and show them. This is just a regular run-of-the-mill city street. Now, it's a major city street. In a place like Los Angeles or New York or London, this would probably be called a boulevard. Here's just a street because of the size of the city. This will, as far as the meridians go, this is going to act a lot like the liver meridian, or maybe the heart, or another one. It's important, but not outrageously important like something like, say, the stomach or the gallbladder would be. So you can get some decent speeds here, relatively free-flowing. The problem is when traffic hits, and then you get some massive problems. And by the way, those acupuncture points are still a lot like the intersections you get here, where one street crosses another, which brings me to our next little spot. So we're going to cruise over here, and we're going to take the next light, or acupuncture point / intersection, onto a cross street. And that is going to be like what is called a low collateral. What is that, you ask? Well, I'll explain. See, a low is spelled L-O-U, not L-O-W. That's the opposite of high, but anyhow. A low collateral is where extra stuff goes, when it can't be handled by the meridians. When that happens, you can sometimes have weight gain, you can sometimes have swellings, inflammation, stuff like that. The thing is, it's totally and perfectly natural. So, we're gonna go ahead and cut for just a hot second. All right, that was a bit of a long light, but that's okay, we're now on a cross street. So, what this is gonna do is this is gonna link the major meridians together. That way they can communicate. That's how, when you get an acupuncture treatment from me or somebody like me, they are working on, say, digestive problems, and they use the spleen meridian, but they put a bunch of stuff in the liver meridian. What the hell? That's not supposed to happen, right? Or they do stuff in the lung. It's because of these little cross streets. Okay? So as we move along here, traffic is typically a little bit lighter in these collateral zones. Now, while I'm talking about it, there are two collaterals that we have. We have the long collaterals, which is like what I'm on, and then we have the short collaterals, which split off from these. And we are coming up on one of them, and I want to show you. Right, everybody, here we are in a neighborhood. This is what a short collateral is like. Now, the difference between a neighborhood and what your body does is the neighborhood's always here until somebody comes in and decides that it isn't. Now, the body will make the short collaterals and destroy the short collaterals as needed. So, as we go through here, let's say on Tuesday, these houses aren't here. But on Wednesday, now there's an apartment building. See what I'm saying? That's what your body is capable of doing, at least according to the collateral theory. Now, there is something else associated with the meridians. These are called the 8 extraordinary vessels. So how could those possibly work into our little metaphor here of roads? Well, what they do is they form the basis of who and what you are. So in our little metaphor, this would be, what are the roads made out of? Are they cobblestone? Are they asphalt? Or are they just simple black slurry? Are they dirt roads? Are they muddy? Do they wash out? What kind of cars are on them? Are the cars all electric? Are the cars old-timey stuff from like the old industrial era where you had to walk out front and crank the stupid thing in order to get it to start? That's what the 8 extras are going to be like. Working on those will be kind of an upgrade to infrastructure for your body. Okay? So, I believe that's about it as far as meridians go. Again, my name is Richard Vigorelli, and I am your acupuncturist. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or shoot me a line on my website at vigintmed.com. That stands for Vigorelli IntegratedMedicine.com. I'll be sure to answer that as soon as I possibly can. So, until then, you take care and stay healthy.